This is a 45J2 that I'm doing for another YouTuber. I wish I was better about taking before pictures. We'll just have to do the best we can because I've already started on it. I've already got it dismantled. This is one of the later ones with the white nose and tone arm. Start by showing you this tone arm. I think the finish on this went bad over the years. Sometimes the plastic deteriorates. It's very powdery, very pitted, scratched. I think somebody tried to clean it up at one point and it's very pitted and scratched. I'm going to try to clean it up as best I can. I've already started on this section here, sanding it and getting it ready to polish. I think it's going to be okay. Should be able to polish it up and get it to shine. This player is wired for stereo, which isn't usually done. They tend to rumble too much, especially when they have the plastic turntable as opposed to the metal one. And the cartridge is just glued into the tone arm, which I don't like. I may try to change that. I've got some extra original cartridges, and I may take the back side of that and mount the cartridge in that, and then screw it into the tone arm the way the original was. That's a better way to go. But anyway, we'll get that cleaned up and polished up. It should look really nice. This is kind of a later RP190. It doesn't have the removable bearing for the tone arm. That's just cast in there. This doesn't have a muting switch. The reason it came to me is because it has too much wow and flutter. And one of the things I noticed that was causing that was the ball race was in upside down, which is not that big a deal, but it's supposed to be in with this side up so it will hold on to the grease, and it was in with this side up. It's not that big a deal, but you want to get them in there right. The other thing was the washers that that ball race is sandwiched in between. This one was about normal. It's got the bluing on it, and it was in reasonably good shape. Just has that very slight, shiny circle where the ball race has been running all these years. Not too bad. The other one was missing all the bluing, and it had really deep horizontal scratches in it. And I'm not sure what someone did to it, but you can kind of see them on this side. I left this side alone for now. Very deep horizontal scratches in that side, and I polished up the other side pretty well. I'm not done with it yet, but it's coming along really well. I've got the scratches out of it, and I'm just trying to get it where it'll really shine up, and then that ball race will ride on this polished washer, and that should help smooth things out a little bit. One of the other problems this had was where the chassis mounts to the cabinet. There were no rubber mounting cones, just these metal collars, and they're not even the same size. One's a little shorter than the other, so I don't think the chassis was mounted in there very well. So I'm going to replace those with the rubber cones to try and dampen vibration. And then we're going to replace the factory style idler with the O-ring style to try and reduce vibration from the motor to the turntable. And I'm also going to put new feet on the bottom of the cabinet. The originals were in here, and I had to break them to get them out because they're hard as rocks. And I'm going to replace them with some brand new soft rubber feet to try and dampen some vibration that way. The other thing I'm going to do is this. I've already started scuffing this up and taking the paint off, or taking the paint down on this board, on this plate. It had this rubber piece glued right there, epoxied right there to prevent needle digs. So I popped that off and got the epoxy off and have it nice and smooth and ready to paint. It has some, has the usual amount of corrosion here and there. You can see it around the edges and things, so we're getting ready to paint that. We're going to use this, which I've used before, this Krylon Champagne Nouveau. It's an excellent color match for these later boards. It's not a good match for the earlier ones. This is a more antique looking gold color, but for these later ones it is an excellent match. So you'll see that in the next video when I get it painted. I think that is about it. The cabinet's in good shape. Get that all shined up. Get the plastic parts all polished up. You know, we'll get them shined up, get a nice coat of wax on them, make them look really nice, and make the whole thing look really nice, and it should really be a winner by the time we're done. And we'll see how well it handles. You know, we're going to leave it wired for stereo. That was the owner's request, and we'll see if we can't do our best to get it to behave and play some stereo records the way it should. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.